Well, welcome back to King's Backyard Farming. Today we're going to be talking about soil nutrition. So in the last episode we've talked about soil types, we've talked about compaction of soil and site selection. Before we put any plants in there, we've got to get the soil ready for the growing phase of the plant. So I'm going to go through what we put on for our watermelon crop and our pumpkins and the eggplants. And then we're going to try and find an equivalent product for you that you can get from your local hardware shop, or go down to Elders and ask them to get some for you. So on the farm we buy our fertiliser in a big bag like this, so 1,000 kilos at a time, just saves a lot of handling, and we've got the equipment on the farm to lift it up and put it into our spreaders. So this product here, come on out the way Mr. Wolf, sit over there, stay there, you're not helping much mate. Yes, I know, you can sit there. So this product here is Nitrophosca Special. The numbers on it are 12, 5, 14, 8. So when we come to nutrition, there's three main elements that we have if we look at a bag of fertiliser. It always goes as N, P, K. So you've got nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So when you read the numbers, oh Mr. Wolf, you're in the way again. When you read the numbers, yeah, pleased to meet you. When you read the numbers on a bag, the first number is always nitrogen. So this product here has 12% nitrogen. Nitrogen is something easy that we can put in later, so we don't want to put too much in the soil initially because it dissolves in the water, and if we put too much water on, it's going to go through, and it also evaporates through the air. There's 5% phosphorus in this. So phosphorus is one of the elements that every plant needs, and in Australia a lot of our soils are phosphorus deficient. So the easiest way to get phosphorus back in your soil is put it in now when we're putting in the base soil fertiliser. So the second one is phosphorus is a major element that we need to get the strong growth in our cells and structure in the plant. And the easiest way to get that into our plant, and the cheapest way, is to put it in as super phosphate. So this has got super phosphate in it, and it's delivering 5% phosphorus into the soil, and K is 14%. So potassium is very important to the structure of the cell internally. Potassium also greatly assists in the flavour of your product that you're growing. So it's really important to get a lot of potassium into your plants, and the 8% will be sulphur. And sulphur will bring the pH down. In our area, our water at different times of the year can be up to 8.4 pH, so we need quite a lot of sulphur in what we put in to bring the pH down and bring it to a better level of acidity. So when we're looking at the pH of our soil, the ideal place to be on your pH scale is 6.5 to 7. At 6.5 to 7, nearly all these elements that we're putting in are available to the plant. As we get up closer to 8, then some of them start to lock up, and even though we put it on the ground, the plant can't get it. So we like to make sure we get a lot of sulphur in to try and pull that pH down to get it around the 6.5 to 7. And you can get a test kit if you're interested in it. You can get a test kit that you get some of your soil, get some distilled water, mix it up, shake it up through the soil, pour it out into a glass, and then get a pH test kit and see what colour that goes to determine where your pH is. If it's a long way out, you really got to fix it, but most soils are pretty reasonable. So that's one of the products that we put in to our base. Look in here. Oh, look in here. you see it? All right, one of the second products that we put into our base fertiliser regime is gypsum. So gypsum you can probably go to Mitre 10 or get a small bag for your garden, even from Elders. But we get gypsum, but then we get it micronized. So the product's called gyp flour, but it's as fine as flour. It's very, very fine. So we want it very fine so that it breaks down quicker in the soil and becomes available to the plant. Now gypsum's important because it conditions your soil. So when we've got that, if you've got a clay soil or a really solid structured soil, the gypsum conditions the soil so it helps it loosen up and be porous to get through. It also delivers us calcium. Now calcium is a very, very important product as we're growing because it gives us, if the cell is a round sphere, the skin and everything on the cell, strength comes through calcium. So if we got very poor calcium levels, the quality of the fruit breaks down and it's not as dense or as firm or as crisp. So it's very important that we get enough calcium into the soil structure. So we use gypsum because it doesn't change the pH of the soil too much because we're trying to keep ours low. In some areas, if you've got a much heavier soil or an acidic structured soil, you could just get some lime and put on. Both will give you the same result depending on what you're trying to achieve in your soil profile. The third thing that we put in our base fertiliser is composted cow manure. Now, this delivers a lot of organic matter to the soil profile, so we use quite a lot of this. In the orchard, we've just recently got over 1,000 tonne of this from a feedlot, cow manure, so there's a lot of, if you look into it, there's a lot of bits of sticks and grass and hay and manure, and it's all been composted to kill all the nasties in it so that it's safe. And then we would put in the garden, we'll put a lot of this in the soil, in the base fertiliser. Out in the paddock we can't put a real lot in, so we drop probably, I don't know, 5-6 tonne a hectare exactly where the roots are going, so we don't broadcast it everywhere where we're going to grow the plants, which you'll see later on when we show you the dropping fertiliser. Out in the paddock, it just goes where the plant's going to go under the plastic. So this stuff here we can't be shy using. Once it's composted, it's pretty safe. All the harsh things have been equalised out, so we can put a lot of that into our soil structure, which we will do. Thanks.